Okay. Terry says, welcome back. Bernie says, at Sal, by the way, it turns out Boris hadn't messaged me about your cryptic text to him. Instead, he apparently had an idea. Shudders.
What's the idea? Sorry, I missed the last few minutes of context because somebody told me to take Bomb's ability to be salty away. No, wait, I was the one salty. He's the one salting. I've taken Bomb's ability to salt away. You can no longer salt me.
Doesn't that mean, what is it?
Yes, everyone else can now.
Oh, so if I go...
Don't you dare.
Like
no, you're not typing anything.
Just testing.
No!
Aha.
Thank you.
Oh, bless. Twitch has started at 1. I've given you your first gram of salt, Mia.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried looking into transferring those things over, but apparently no, you have to have Nightbot tied to one account. Don't you dare, Bomb. You don't have that power anymore.
Oh, we've switched on.
You can, but you can only have Nightbot tied to one account, unfortunately.
Ah, I see. Well, we do have more viewers on Twitch than we have on YouTube. It's true. Used to be the other way around, but more recently, yeah. Sorry, Babom. It's now a Twitch thing rather than a YouTube thing. Does that mean also that the my tube of Pringles seems to have added salt? Oh, wrong one. You need to go back to Twitch to do that, Terry. My mom says no.
But the bomb command is back.
Oh, on bomb.
No, it's just bomb. It's just bomb.
Okay.
Bomb. It's too late. Belorsa's already ahead of you. I guess it's time to end the stream, everybody. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
No. Right. Okay. So, Mia, you were doing things.
Yeah, I know. I know that I've been doing things. And I didn't even get around to do the thing I wanted to do in the break. So instead, I'll have to, get chat to do it for me.
What's that?
Can somebody check if there's some Space Engineer's script that automatically tells the assembler what to produce if an automated welder doesn't have certain resources?
Okay. Well, Bernie says, Tim. Mom says, salt. Joke's on you, Mia. You've now got 3 grams of salt.
Yeah. You'll never reach the ½ kilo you had on YouTube.
I hope we've got a cooldown on the salt. But anyway, you're not just going to sit there and wait for somebody to...
What it looks like, what am I doing?
I don't know, I can't tell from here.
Platinum.
Okay.
I'm flying platinum.
Can't tell me. It's alright. Don't need to get quite so salty.
I have to give them reasons to use the command. Ralph used to be really proud that we got almost close to 1 kilo.
Yeah. What? What? Oh, yeah, Anubis has answered me.
Oh, I thought he pointed out that he's available for being conscribed into my salt mining business.
No.
Oh, you disappoint me.
I just asked him, I dropped him a message saying, was that really you tweeting, or was it a secret message telling us that you're being held hostage and we should send help? Was the question I'd asked him.
What was his weird message?
It was a tweet that said, I'm a proud backer of this game.
That sounds like he's a robocaller now.
It sounded very, it didn't sound like his language. And it said that he was the 2000th and something backer of that game. And
it sounds like an automated message that you can automatically send to all your social media.
So he's confirmed that yes, it was him. But I was just didn't sound like the sort of thing he'd do. So I was checking that it was actually him and it wasn't that his account had been hacked. Mia, by the way, since Potato isn't here, I'll just remind you that you had a purchasing conundrum. Oh, yeah? Mia, what's your purchasing conundrum?
Potato's not here. I can't discuss this.
Oh, what? Is it something related to Potato?
Well, yes, obviously. As any German would usually tell you.
Almost everything's related to potatoes. Kartoffeln.
Oh, look at that. I already made a hole here.
You did?
Oops. Well, time to make another.
That drill noise is great.
Oh, it is. Okay, fine.
I don't know. I've got complete silence because otherwise all of the sounds would be like 30 seconds behind. But don't make it extra loud, Mia.
That's fine. I'll
think
make
of
it slightly quieter. Woo! There. Let's enjoy this together, everybody. It makes a slight crinkling noise every now and then.
Can we see from the outside so I can see what's actually going on? Okay. Yeah, I just prefer that view personally. Not even just because it's the easiest one to drive from, but it's a bit more interesting to look at. Get all the flashy lights of the thrusters and things. So are you left-click mining or right-click mining while you're going towards the platinum? Scenic, yeah.
Since stone actually does stuff now, I'm,
Yeah.
Mining everything.
Right.
I'm just eating those. And we do have basic refineries on board that are already automatically taking care of this stuff.
Which is good. Apparently you can't send the same message within 30 seconds. Oh, but zoomed out there's no sound.
That is true. Well, you do hear the thrusters every now and then, but you don't get this beauty.
You can also see when Mia crashes into the rocks. No, please don't, Mia. It's like, that's not nice sat here, so it really can't be nice over.
Yeah, well, that's what people hear when they're looking at this. I feel like I imitated those drills fairly well.
Yeah, you can also see when Mia crashes into the rocks from the outside.
Well, yeah, but you can't really see anything soon anymore because I'll be going inside there. At which point I can only see, the cockpit.
Yeah. That's what I liked about the idea of having that forward cockpit, is that when you do get to that point where you can't see anymore, that you then get the inside view. Or the inside view shows you something. I think that's a good idea. What was that abomination of a sound? Pulls tongues. Mia's recreation is acceptable, says
Aha! I win.
Oh, is that through to the other side of the asteroid? It is, isn't it?
I think I might have just drilled into my other hole.
Oh. It was the sound of Mia's soul escaping.
Well, first off, that requires me to have a soul in the first place.
Are you saying robots don't have souls?
Yes.
Does that include, like, fully fledged androids?
Yes. They're mere automaton. They don't deserve any rights.
Well, you'd have to start off by, like, you've got the argument about what is consciousness, what
They're
is a
not
soul
conscious.
anyway. Mira's making a Swiss cheese asteroid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Ooh. I'm almost sorry now. Am I past this thing already? Not quite yet. Oh no, I am.
The Siths from Fallout 4 have souls.
Synth.
Synth.
As in synthetics.
Ah.
I mean, some people like to believe that, yes.
That's in Babom's opinion.
But that doesn't make it true.
Has Mia ever seen Blade Runner?
I have not. Neither has Sal, right?
I have,
Oh,
but it was a long time ago and I can't particularly remember it. At Mia, be careful. If you are an android and androids have no rights, then that would give Sal free reign over you.
I already don't have, own decision-making power. Add that to the fact that I'm an illegal alien in this country.
You're not an illegal alien, you're a resident alien, that's different.
I'm a citizen of the European Union.
You're not illegal.
Yet.
I couldn't employ you if you were illegal.
You're not really employing me. I'm a non-employee resource on the same level as the printer. We discussed this.
You said you've compared yourself with the printer. I didn't compare you with the printer.
You classified me as a non-employee resource, which is the exact same thing as the printer.
No, the printer is a multifunctional device.
Yes, and a non-employee resource.
Your job is to, supervise the printer.
No, this is a friendship thing. Me and the printer, we stick together. We both can staple, occasionally. Mm-hmm. And that's about the extent of our abilities.
I don't believe in randomness, which means I don't believe in free will, which means that, in my opinion, there is no difference between humans, robots, or animals. Yeah, that's an interesting point of view, because there's the research about what goes on inside your brain and how you convince yourself that you've actually made a choice and what's really going on there is really quite interesting. So Mia is going out with the printer? No, he doesn't get to take the printer out. The printer stays in the office. The printer is better than you in this analogy, Mia.
He's right.
No, Mia doesn't get stuck quite so often. He doesn't get paper jams quite so often.
Yeah,
and he can refill his own staples.
Yeah, but the printer gets paid more. Do you know how much we invest into paper and other printer-related stationery items?
Do you know how many printers we've got? So if we multiplied, Mia's...
You're going to terrify the organisation. You're already mightily upset with the fact that I told the diet soup lady to not die after she went home.
And then she didn't come back in again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, fifth one. Terry says, so the printer is a captive. Yes. It's held by a lead to the wall. It's chained almost. So is it dinner in then? Mia has a printer harem. The printer gets for a printer harem.
A what?
A harem.
A herring?
A herring. Yes, it has a printer herring.
Thank you. I'm not a big fan of fish.
The printer gets free electricity, ink and paper. Yeah, free to the printer.
Yeah, and maintenance. He's got better healthcare than I do.
Gets its insides tinkered with on a very regular basis. But then has no comeback when somebody kicks it.
Neither do I.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
What would that be?
You could complain and make me say sorry. Not that I would ever kick you. Oh, I did that earlier, didn't I? It was an accident.
You monster. And I had no recourse. All I could do was just stare on in disbelief. How dare you?
This conversation turns weird. That's Tammy's job to point that out.
No, she just points out gross things.
Fifth one says, oh my.
Point in case being, I have no recourse that I could take.
Turned. It started weird.
How are we doing for platinum? Got 80. 80 platinum.
80 kilos.
80 platinums. 80 platypuses.
The printer is so content with its life it has no need for minor trivial bullying. Oh, I think the ship... Was the ship caught on something?
What? No, I'm just boosting away and that creates a bit of dust.
Right.
Ah, right, this is going to take a while. Let's turn on boost.
So, when you're fully laden, how long does it take for the ship to stop? How far do you travel before the ship stops?
Oh, that. 3.45 kilometers.
Nice. That's pretty good. At Mir, build a network of stargates, one on every planet and moon. Sal, examine the ship for dents when he gets back. Well, it's a mining ship. It gets
some
dented,
dents, but look at this. There is
fine.
nothing terrible going on. It works reasonably well. You might have to repair a few of the drills, and a few sparks are common, but the drilling ship is fine altogether. Did somebody Google the script I was calling for?
Bernie says Tim. Something inventory management.
Oh, no, I don't want inventory management script. I want a script that makes stuff as soon as my welder requests it.
So, Stargate network, says Bernie.
Yes. I can't build a network of stargates because Space Engineers didn't include stargates in the game.
Yeah, the only thing we've got that's anything like a Stargate is the Death Transporter. And we've agreed not to use the Death Transporters.
Oh, but Death Transporters would functionally be working just like Stargates, where you die as soon as you're dematerialized in the event horizon, and then you're reborn on a planet.
And it's a little bit too easy to build a Death Transporter.
Yeah, especially since they now made the cheaper version in form of the survival kit.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you take it, the Death Transporter network has been slightly handicapped, so to speak, because you can only dial into the closest station next to you.
Funny thing is, there is a Stargate mod that basically is a Death Transporter.
Oh, neat. But unfortunately, we're trying to stay really light on mods.
Yeah.
Or maybe fortunately, I'm not entirely sure.
Didn't Anubis use Tim to do
25
stuff
meters.
like feed stuff into assemblers at one point?
Oof.
Someone used Tim.
I'm gonna go have a gander over to our survival kit because I'm dying a bit, which probably means I'll fall off the ship in a moment.
Death Transporter? Sounds fun. Well, in theory, you know, all transporters, like Star Trek style transporters, are Death Transporters.
I'm not entirely sure if the same would count for portals from the game Portal. Would they count as Death Transporters? You don't die while going through it.
No, that was more like a wormhole type arrangement, wasn't it?
Well, then again, they do claim the same thing with the Stargate.
The
Although,
Star Trek transporter, though, converted you into energy and then shot you over to the others somewhere else, and then you rematerialized.
So did the Stargate. As soon as you enter the event horizon, you dematerialize and you rematerialize on the other end, probably sending yourself through there as a form of energy.
The portal looked more like it was making 2 points in space touch. So, like, you could put one arm in one side, and you would exist on both sides of the portal at once.
Yes.
So it wasn't that it was printing you coming out the other side, so you couldn't sort of stick your hand through, you were travelling. I thought that was more like that with Stargate. That's how it appeared. The actual Stargates were wormholes.
No.
Portals, warp, space-time. Yeah.
No, remember in Stargate Atlantis, the one episode where they got one of those puddle jumpers stuck inside the gate?
I'm just giving Mia a blank look now. Having watched every single episode and thoroughly enjoyed it, I can't remember a single thing except running around in jungles.
Well, never mind. You know those tiny little roundish
I remember
ships
the ships.
they have?
Yeah.
Well, in one
Bernie
episode...
remembers.
Yeah, of course he remembers. He's like that. In one of the episodes, they fly towards a Stargate in space.
Okay.
But then they get shot or something. Or no, that wasn't it. No, they got shot earlier. Whatever. Point in case being one of those side pods for speeding didn't retract entirely, which meant that the ship didn't go through the Stargate entirely and got stuck instead.
Okay.
However, part of the episode revolved around the fact that you didn't see them coming out on the other side already, because the entire ship has to go through before it's being sent and then rematerialized on the other side.
Mm-hmm. I see. Star Trek transporters sent a human, received a blob of goo. Yeah, kill you, rip you apart, then create a clone of you somewhere else. So, but yeah, in Portal, I'm pretty sure it works on the basis of you warp space-time so that you've got a place A and place B are actually physically touching in Portal. So it opens a hole that you can step through between point A and point B, probably via a different dimension. Boom says, what the fuck actually is Stargate? You keep talking about it, but I've never actually seen / heard someone talking about its basic plot / lore.
So imagine a large hula hoop ring. You know those large plastic rings children just put around their hips and then they hula hoop them around so they stay in the air. But
Mir actually is wiggling in his chair like he's got a phantom hula hoop on.
Yes, so fancy stuff like that. Now imagine one of those fellas and then just put a little bit of a rainy puddle in the middle of it. Like a very large one. And then if you fall into the puddle, you land on the same thing somewhere completely different. It's like big hula hoop rings with puddles in them that send you from them to other hula hoop rings.
So it was, there's bad guys and good guys. And the bad guys are going to destroy the Earth unless the good guys can stop them through the use of the Stargate. So Stargates were wormholes with extra steps for, quotes, safety. Miss Garner says, blah, someone save my feet. Screw doing security where you can't sit. Oh no, you have to stand for hours? Oh, that's terrible. Terry says, don't listen to Mia's explanation. Google Stargate. It is
do listen
really
to
good.
my explanation. It's an explanation I'm quoting from the bloody show.
Don't listen to Mia's. He's asking about the lore, not a description of what a Stargate looks like.
This is the entirety of the lore as far as I'm concerned.
So, a Minecraft nether portal?
Yes!
No, because the Minecraft nether portal took you through to another dimension.
You stayed in the same dimension.
Stargate, it is transferring you across the galaxy.
Imagine,
or universe.
will you hold on?
Was it galaxy or universe?
Universe. Well, you've got a distinct network per galaxy, but you had Stargates all across the universe.
Okay.
As we found out in Stargate Universe. Woo! So, to explain, Bomb, imagine you've got another portal downstairs down there on the planet.
Oh no! Oh, that's why we took Nightbot off Twitch, because it stops you from posting links.
Ah! Silly us! We forgot! The auto-moderator is back.
Can I do that then?
No. Well, you can post a link, but I'm not entirely sure if it worked.
Bernie says, oh, fuck you, Nightbot.
Fine, hold on a minute. I can fix it, maybe. All of them off. Alright, I've taken all safety precautions off. Don't overuse it. Don't abuse
it was like when we didn't have Nightbot on at all.
So, returning to my ridiculous explanation, imagine we've got another portal down there on this planet. If you step through it, you land on another portal that's down there on the moon.
Yeah.
Did that help?
You're now explaining how the network works, which is not really the lore.
I thought that's what he wanted to know.
No, he asked about the lore of the series, the story behind it, the concept.
I feel like that's not what he wanted to know. He really wants to know how he really wants to know how the big sploosh thing works.
He doesn't know there is a big sploosh thing.
I told him it's the water in the puddle.
Okay, mate.
Sorry, I'm getting too excited about this.
He says, what's the basic plot stroke lore?
Oh, that. Yeah,
too late. You've done that already.
Summarized already. Bad guy, good guys go to them through the big sploosh puddle, and then they stop them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and Bernie's just posted. So there was SG-1. I remember that one. That's the one with the Texan guy in the military base. I like the Texan guy. Then the Stargate Atlantis, that was the one with the fancy architecture and the woman boss. I liked her. Stargate
until she died.
Universe.
That's the gritty one on the ship.
Is that
the one with the dumb sex scenes?
I don't remember dumb sex scenes.
Good. We don't talk about them.
Well, obviously you do.
Well, I'm trying to find identifying things about the show that you might remember.
Which was the one that had the, like the big guy with the long hair who just grunted a lot?
That's Atlantis.
Oh, okay. Stargate Universe. What? Oh, hang on. Was that the one where they couldn't go through a Stargate?
What do you mean?
Ronan is Bay. Sal now wants to watch Stargate Universe to see the sex scenes. If Mia's talking about sex scenes, there was probably two people looking at each other in a lusty manner.
I wish that were the case.
But Bomb says I'll look into it when I wake up tomorrow afternoon. Did they have a Stargate on board the ship, but they couldn't use it because they didn't have enough power?
Yes, that's the one. It's the one where the whole gate spins and not just the ring on it.
Oh, well, I don't remember the minor details like that.
It's just not a minor detail. That was the whole selling point.
I don't remember the ship. Never mind the Stargate on the ship, whether there was one or there wasn't one.
Oh, fine.
But Mom will look into it when I wake up tomorrow afternoon. Well, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Today afternoon, indeed. And for those watching the VOD, it is currently 12 20 minutes to
Hold on,
2
we've got a
AM
clock right there. Hello, this is the live time right now. Thank you for watching.
Server. So, but for
It's a
Bobombs
live
in
time.
Bobombs time zone, it is 1:40 AM. Hence why he'll wake up today afternoon. Hey Mia, crazy idea. Put the refiners on the ship. Mia's got basic refiners on the ship. Look, see, you've made him go show you now. What?
Boris and his bloody
What?
gravity generator. It's just hideous. We do have basic refineries on this mining ship. It's not large or powerful enough to hold a proper large refinery on it. So at the moment, the small refineries are just pulling out stone and converting that while we're on the way back. It's basically the new equivalent of the gravel pooper.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. There is a few dents.
And Boris has built this big refining factory anyway, so it would be a bit rude, really, not to use it. So, no, it's all right. We've got our own, thanks.
Plus, he's got all of those, what was it, yield modules on there?
Ah, Bernie's linked us to the ship.
We couldn't
okay.
really fit that into a drilling ship. So, yeah. But we do have a basic refinery on there, so it's not entirely helpless.
I vaguely remember that shape, Bernie. Terry says, how many refineries did you have on the Drildo, Sal? On the Drildo, I think it was only one. Because we had a block limit on Drildo was season 4, and we had a block limit. So I think I was limited to 100 drills, which sounds like a lot, but it's only 10 by 10. So the drill head, and because I wanted the drill head to be wider than the ship, so it was sort of plunger shaped, that meant that the inside of the ship was actually quite narrow, and I didn't want it to be terribly long, because otherwise you end up losing the back end when you go drilling through asteroids and things. What's the capacity or volume of a refiner versus a cargo container?
That's a good question. Hold on, I'll find out.
The spinny gate. Bernie suggests about 20. A plunger-shaped Drildo. Sounds uncomfortable.
Right, so basic refinery holds 4,000 litres. Proper refinery holds 7,500 litres. And a holding container holds 421,000 litres in total. So going a bit slow, but we're getting there eventually, maybe.
Yeah. And Boris has got how many refineries on the plant there, the refining plant?
Enough to count at least H.
Ah. J is 10, H is 8. I know some of these because in Braille they use like A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5. So they don't have separate Braille characters for numbers. You use a symbol that says the next letter should be read as a number. And they use like 0 through 10. Well, 1 through 10. So I know my first 10. The plunger head was on backwards. No, not really, because the flat surface of a plunger is the bit that contacts. And the curved surface of the plunger is the bit that connects to the handle. So that was how the Drildo was shaped. The flat surface was the front of the drill head. And the back of the drill head that connected to the rest of the ship was kind of curvy. And it meant that the main body of the ship was narrower than the drill head. Why is it always laggy anywhere near where Boris has built a thing?
I think it's laggy anywhere you are at the moment on the server.
Well, I couldn't visually notice it like when you were drilling before. It didn't look particularly laggy. But here
that's because I've been stationing more or less.
Because Boris, says Terry. Just found a size comparison image of all Stargate spacecraft. That Wraith hive ship is huge. The Wraith. They were the Atlantis ones, weren't they?
Yes.
I can't remember who the bad guys were in the first or the last one.
The Goa Wult.
In the first, yep. Oh, the last one, was that where... Hang on, which was the one that had all of the little spidery things running around eating stuff?
That was also the first.
Ah.
They had multiple.
Space vampires. That's right. Yeah. I remember the Wraith being space vampires. Yeah, but the front was curved outwards as opposed to inwards, wasn't it? No, I think... Was it? Did I put a... Oh, maybe I did have a sort of drill point on it. I thought I had a flat drill. I know at some point I experimented with having a curved surface on the drill head, on the contact point of the drill head. And I tried it and decided I didn't really like it that much and I preferred the flat head. It just works better in Space Engineers. Miss Karna says I need to test my large ship at some point for planetary landing and leaving. Oh boy.
I'm sure you'll stick the landing. The leaving is the more difficult part.
Well, if you get your landing right, then the leaving part is certainly easier. Because actually the landing part is sometimes well, that's where you get to find out how likely your leaving is going to be. Hello, Tammy. Tammy, say hello to Tammy.
Hello, Tammy.
And Bernie says they go with the word I can never pronounce, go wild. The replicators and the Ori for Stargate. The Ori. Mind control thingies come to mind. Mind control people?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Like psychic abilities.
Yes.
So the gold were like warrior types. The replicators were the little mechanisms that would eat stuff. And the Ori were like mental psychic things. Yeah? No?
I mean, yes, technically you're right, but your description sounds so silly.
It's just sort of... Because I don't remember much. And this is a series I really, really, really enjoyed. But my memory of it is very, very vague. The landing part is helped if you don't park like me. Ori are non-corporeal beings that fancy themselves as gods. Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else, I think.
No, they did have priors who did have mental psychic abilities.
Oh, yeah. It's the priors, yeah, with the mental psychic abilities.
But they were de facto part of the Ori.
Right.
So, you know, you're not wrong.
My mom says, Tammy, you missed some interesting conversations. 4,000 blocks and it's huge. Well, make sure you have lots and lots of hydrogen thrusters on it. And a good number of of what do you call atmospheric thrusters? Hallowed are they, Ori. Yeah, I seem to remember something like that. Tammy says, I did. Bernie says, yes, you did. It wasn't anything that weird. It was just about comparing Mia with the printer in the office. Nothing.
My life as an illegal alien. How close am I to the drilling ship? Ooh.
Quite
Quite.
close in the sense that if Boris logged on now, you'd lose a thruster. At one point, Mia was being compared to a printer. Yeah. Also, it's pronounced Ori. Is that right? Ori?
Yeah.
The Ori, not an Ori. Yep, we've been talking about various space-based sci-fi shows. We had a little bit of a touch on to do androids have souls, and is there such a thing as free will? But we just kind of brushed over that. We talked about London and Mary Whitehouse. Wasn't there a TV show a long time ago called The Mary Whitehouse Experience, which kind of played on the fact that it was the Mary Whitehouse that they were basically parodying. Also, of all the enemies in Stargate, Baal was the best. Baal. Didn't he torture some people at some point?
He did.
Hey, see, my memory's coming back about this.
Well done. Here's some round applause.
Good. Plenty of thrusters and 20 tanks for fuel. Ooh, you should be okay.
This is still a very heavy ship. You're going to need those. Still, we wish you good luck. And
I suppose it's all relative, because 4,000 blocks. Supposing that 1,000 of those 4,000 blocks were thrusters of the varying types.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah.
So if your ship is a quarter thrusters, as actually very well evidenced by our ship, you can describe that as a quarter thruster, especially if you remember that we had very large atmospheric thrusters on the side here. You can't see me pointing at them.
No. Mia's pointing at his screen to explain things.
Well, primarily to you, so you can then explain it to the viewers.
Mary Whitehouse had a male supporter. Can't remember his name. Ooh, wasn't John Major, was it? And Bernie said he did torture O'Neill when he had a Tok'ra in him. O'Neill, was he the hero guy from the first series?
Yes, he's the guy who likes fishing.
I seem to remember I didn't approve of him much. But I'm not sure. I might have the wrong character there. There was definitely someone who was badged as the hero who I used to grumble a bit about, but it was okay. I could overlook that.
Yeah, that was pretty much O'Neill, probably. Ooh, ship picture.
We talked about
I need to see that ship pic.
Yeah, let's have a look at the ship picture. Ooh, that's rather nice.
Can you move that over to your screen?
Oh, yeah,
for the moment, it looks
see
just
it over there.
very, very green.
Well, that's because the screen looks green when you look at it from an angle.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure those are very green thrusters. What are those?
That's blue. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I always see greens as blues.
Oh, yeah. Simple test. Is this the same shade of colour as this thing here? As the thruster on our screen?
Okay, now I'm trying to take my mouse and I'm trying to take it across to Mia's monitor.
Move your mouse to the left. That's what she did. Thank you for watching. This is my TED Talk.
Yeah, I was trying to get mine over there. The ones in the picture are not quite as bright white as yours, but otherwise, yes, they're blue. Like that's blue.
Well, to me they look really different. Also, ours don't have this weird glowing white ring around them.
That looks like it's got like a light or something.
Exactly. We don't have that. What thruster is this? You should probably
bring up chat again. Yeah, sorry, I moved chat. I had to minimize chat because chat sits on top of everything. Chat takes priority. Let's see. O'Neill by himself was all right, but when you added Daniel Jackson into the mix, ... Babom says, "Damn it! You've made me curious about the
what?
I'm thinking Delta V, change of volume, the difference in volume." So I was trying to think of how to put that into English.
Are you sure it's not velocity rather than?
No. Delta V is the delta. It's the difference in the volumes of the various engine/fuel tank variations in Space Engineers. Now I'm going to have to spend a few hours doing maths.
Hip hip hooray! We had an educational effect on someone.
A tiered thruster mod.
Oh, Delta V is acceleration. So
no, not capital V. That would be a small v. Delta capital V is volume.
I guess it does.
Velocity is a lowercase v. And besides, he's talking about engines and fuel tank variations.
Excuse me, it's been ages since the last time that I've gone and doodled some maths.
Chat takes priority. Unless I'm looking at rocks, in which case I will ignore you. And he did mean change in velocity. Change in velocity of engine/fuel tank variations?
You know, if you want to use hydrogen thrusters...
You're talking about like power versus weight, the power-weight ratio type thing.
I assume so. I mean, if you want to use hydrogen thrusters, you do need to add additional weight because of the thruster of the tanks, which you don't have.
It's 1:58 in the morning. I can't think straight. Okay. So anyway, here's the best starship designed ever conceived, says Bernie. Let's have a look at this.
Is it the Daedalus? No. Of course
it's the Enterprise.
I'll be honest, I was never a big fan of this silly disc design.
It's, I think that Star Trek had some of the best sound effects ever.
Wee!
Mm-hmm. Ms. Kana says, mainly affects size. So the vanilla large is tier 3 to 5. So 5 is much bigger. Bernie says, best design ever.
There's no need to shout. I heard you the first time.
I think he's not shouting, he's being emphatic.
There's no need to be emphatic. I heard you the first time.
There's
I'm realising flaws.
At least with the Enterprise. I can't. This is in comparison to something like Star Wars, not Space. I was going to say Spacegate, Stargate. In comparison with a lot of the space things, at least the Enterprise did behave like it was in space, not like it was in an atmosphere. Tammy says, my dad was stationed on an aircraft carrier called the Enterprise. So when I hear the word Enterprise, Star Trek isn't the first thing to come to my mind. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Bernie says, Atmir, watch out when I get grammatic. Oh, it's the more exclamation marks you use, the closer to madness you are. Mum says it uses the rocket equation that accounts for the change in weight of a spacecraft when fuel is burned to give the actual amount a rocket can accelerate. Miss Carner says I've built some nice small ships. And Bernie asks Tammy whether it was the CVN-65, which I presume is the I was going to say license plate, but you know what I mean, the identifier for.
No,
for
you're
Tammy's
right. I
ship.
have to attach a license plate to the train of thought now.
No, we're talking about Tammy's dad's ship.
Yeah, but it gave me an idea, and now I'll need a bloody license plate.
Okay.
What do you want to have on the license plate?
Let me think about that. Because I'm sure I can come up with something better with a little bit of thought. I did once see a car for sale with a license plate which was PUS5Y, and it was an MOT failure and they wanted £500 for it. And at the time, I just couldn't afford £500, and it was blatantly obvious that this number plate was worth thousands. And all it was going to take was somebody with garage facilities and who was handy with a welder to get the damn thing through its MOT test. And I knew that if I just had a bit of extra cash at the time, that was going to be such a good investment. Pennant number? Yeah, it doesn't know what it's called. Bernie says, not even sure why I needed to ask because CV6 was a bit long ago. I'm guessing that Bernie knows his warships. But Bob asks, was that the WW2 one? WW2, the World War II one? Yeah, we should keep Mir off the topic of World War II. Before he says something that would be inappropriate. Bernie says, well, I know my enterprises. Aha! And Terry says, PUS5Y. Yeah, that would sell to a pimp. You know it would sell for thousands. I knew it would sell for thousands. They decommissioned CVN-65 a couple of years ago. I don't have much in way of family having much to do with ships except for my granddad. Was it my granddad or was it my great-granddad? No, it must have been my great-granddad, I guess, who stowed away on a ship to New York when he was 12. And he got caught and then put back, like when they got to New York, he was put back on a ship to send him home. And the ship was detoured to go and pick up passengers off a very well-known shipwreck. And it was the first ship that had been fitted with something that allowed proper SOSs to be sent out after the Titanic. Mum says, my dad served on HMS Campbelltown, the Type 22 frigate, not quite as big as the Enterprise. Miss Carner says, give me some World War II mechanical stuff. Terry says that his dad was a ship's carpenter on the Union Castle ships, the mail ships to South Africa. I fancy that. And Maxim Vasala says something in Russian. Welcome to the stream. It's Speaking of which, we've not seen Lieutenant Lukin around for a while. He's our resident Russian.
Probably because we're streaming at rather unreasonable
we're streaming
times.
at the wrong time for Lieutenant Lukin. Yeah, but I don't
It's even
remember
more
seeing
night
him
for him.
Did we see him yesterday?
I don't remember. I can't remember a whole lot of things. I'm currently stuck in the welding zone.
Ah, okay. Oh, you're making
Oh, not
contact.
bloody again! I'm gonna throw Almond's ship down to the planet or something.
Well, why don't you just disconnect Almond's ship and move
I've
it?
already disconnected it.
Well, why don't you fly it out the way then?
I did fly it slightly out of the way.
Fly it a little bit more out the way. You don't need to, like, fly it all the way to the planet, right? You can just move it out the way a little bit.
I'll keep moving it out of the way until it's down on the planet.
Oh, Terry says, at Bernie, are we getting close to the next break? Bernie says, yes, we are. Are we?
Yes, 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. Are we going to do another...
No. Unless you want to do it on your own. Because I'm dead.
Oh, yeah. I kind of can tell, actually, that you're getting a bit tired. Hey, it was your choice to stream, not me.
Fine.
I woke up and Mia said, so we're streaming then?
I did not phrase it like this.
Pretty much, you know, the enthusiasm was there. And then as soon as we got streaming, you started going, all growly at chat and everything. Well, Cells made me come here. Was not what you said. But that's kind of how it sounded in your voice. But you did want to stream. You wanted to play Space Engineers, didn't you, Mia? You have to admit it, you wanted to play Space Engineers.
We have an obligation to our viewers. And they want to see this train wreck unfold.
But Mom says, I am with Mia for once. Oh, yeah, because Babom must be near dead as well. I've never asked Lieutenant Lukin where in Russia he is. Russia is an awfully big place.
Look at this. You can already see the train.
It's coming along, isn't it?
No, you can't really.
Well, we can stream tomorrow. And we don't have to wait till 8 o'clock tomorrow. We might be able to stream a bit earlier.
Hooray, this is not an existing floor, is it?
No.
I knew
Bernie
that.
says it's past 3 a.m. for me, and I am not tired.
It's probably because you had a cell snooze or something.
Yeah, I had a cell snooze.
Hold on a minute.
And Tammy says it's 8 p.m. here.
You can steer the ship from over here too. I forgot.
Babom says Sal's rationing of Space Engineers is like a parent telling a child to do their homework before playing video games. As Miss Carner stares at the next 4 hours of work. Oh dear. Making you stand all that time is not good. I don't ration Space Engineers. All I've said to Mir is if he's going to do anything substantial, like, it's okay, inventory sorting, fine, labelling things, fine, but if he's going to do anything substantial, do it on stream. I haven't said that he needs to only do it when I'm there, but he prefers me to be around when he's streaming.
Yeah, because otherwise you just have hours of silence while I'm trying to quietly weld things. And that's probably not really what you're here for. You're here to listen to Sal talk about how she feels about ships and stuff.
You just need practice, Mia, because, like, you know, if I was
Well,
streaming
you've
by
fallen out
myself,
of practice yourself. I mean, yeah, okay, fine. You did have some solo streams recently. Never mind, I'll be quiet. As usual.
Mum says it's 9 minutes past 2 a.m. here. I'm at the point where I'm so tired my brain shuts down, and so I don't feel tired, but I can't process well. Miss Carner says the only reasoning behind it is to look smart. Although the
Behind
story...
the standing? Sorry, yeah.
Staring at the next 4 hours of work.
Oh, that.
And Tammy says, although the story about spoiling the Avengers movie was funny yesterday. Yeah, people really like that.
Well, yeah, but for that I had somebody to jive it off with. That being you.
Me.
And I can't carry an entire stream through my thing alone. I need somebody to interact with occasionally. That's how we made Subnautica work.
See, I think the difference with me is that it's true, if I really, really need to concentrate, sometimes I find it difficult to talk at the same time. But I could probably hold a conversation with myself. I don't think I would crack under solitary confinement for a very long time.
Don't get me wrong, I feel like I can hold a conversation with myself too. The only problem I have is when I focus on one thing at once, which you can see when I'm trying to start interacting with you.
Yeah, because,
my interaction with the game slows down because apparently as a guy I can't focus on more than one thing at a time.
That happens with me too. If nobody was watching, I would play much, much faster. So it's true, if I'm talking with chat, then I'm doing things much, much, much slower. But which is very noticeable by the fact that when I'm welding something, I will just go and get however much fits in my inventory of a thing, because I can't talk to chat and remember numbers in my head. Because remembering numbers in my head is like a fatal flaw anyway. Oh yeah, the reason why you can't sit is because security needs to look smart. Oh, that's so bad. Mia needs a streaming partner or else he would give up and crawl back in his hole. The bomb says, hours of silence? Like when Sally's mining rocks?
That's why she has Anubis.
And Terry says, being senile, I don't remember what tired is. I just pass out periodically. Oh, I would love to. That's kind of how I would be. My days and nights would be completely unrelated to my waking and sleeping. I would just go round and round and round the clock. Sometimes diurnal, sometimes nocturnal. Terry says Mia can argue with himself. The bomb says that sounds like life. But that could refer to any number of the previous comments. Miss Carner says about can't sit because security needs to look smart. She says, which is funny seeing as the Queen's Guard are only told to stand for 2 hours. Oh, I didn't know that. Tammy says, with my luck, I would start arguing with myself and eventually lose the argument. My problem is when if I start having an argument with myself, I know I'm wrong, but I still end up agreeing with myself. And Babom says, oh, and when I'm this tired, I become highly passive-aggressive. Personally, I only get passive-aggressive. I have to be really awake to be passive-aggressive. Otherwise, I'm just tend to fall more into aggressive-aggressive. So, shall we call this? Because it's...
Just a moment. We're about to be able to see a vague outline of the train.
Okay. By moment, though, it's sort of... are people like Babom gonna die first? Or is it...
Alright, here you can see the outline of a train. Farewell, everybody. Good night.
Hang on, no, just chill your boots, mate.
It's too late. I stopped them.
What?
Stopped the boots.
You
They're
stopped
just
the boots?
floating around in the air now.
Okay.
Also, look at this cool thing. I really like it.
Yeah.
Off
I
it
do
goes.
like that.
This is going to be a
Ms.
bloody massive
Carla
train, by
says-
the way.
Yeah, isn't it just? And that's just the engine. And then I'm going to stick carriages on the ends of that.
I'm afraid we'll hit the PCU limit. Think about engines. Look at these engines.
Yeah.
Ooh. What am I missing?
Miss Carter says I have 2 a.m. madness, which leads to hyperactive and stupid thoughts. Terry says insomnia is ideas going around and around in my brain, never going anywhere and always coming back to where it started, over and over and over. Ms. Carter says, which leads to large amounts of game chaos. The bomb says, is nobody going to mention the somewhat phallic growth of the ship?
Have you seen a train?
It's just how... No, the growth, the way that it sort of expands out forwards. Getting longer and longer.
This is how building works.
And Bernie says, engine envy. Right, shall we say goodnight to the viewers now?
Well, you can do that. I'll turn my stuff off.
Okay. So viewers, thank you for joining us. We'll call the stream to an end now and let some of you get some sleep. We will be back. So tomorrow, whatever time it is that I wake up, I'm not sure what. First thing I'm going to do is to dig out one of the old graphics cards and drop the old graphics card into my computer, see if we can dual stream again. And Renee Pascal, hello, says, do you have sauerkraut? Do we have sauerkraut?
We
Sometimes
had
we have
sauerkraut, but
I like sauerkraut.
The last time we had was about 5 months ago. I should reacquire it.
Anyway.
It did make for a lovely Christmas dish.
So we may well be back and streaming again tomorrow.
Today
Today for us, tomorrow for some people. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Yeah.